Hi everybody, welcome to this web show, this masterclass on quantum leaps in income and impact by creating your high ticket, high frequency offers. And I'm going to let you know a little bit about these offers today. If you're here, if you want to use this model more in your business, maybe you're already rocking it and you just want to kind of stay in the energy and learn more about it. Maybe you kind of watch all these people doing it and thinking, what is that and how does that even work and why can't I get out of wherever I'm at? Maybe you're completely skeptical and curious and you think high level offers are the devil. Maybe you're just sort of slightly interested, or maybe this is totally brand new to you and you just want to know what it's all about. Either way, or wherever else you might happen to be at, welcome to the call. I'm Kat Diva and I'm a mum of 3. And I'm an entrepreneur and a business coach and a bit of a witch. And I am absolutely passionate about supporting women to manifest their dreams and live their dream lives and create their lives in a conscious way. And really their own version of success, defining what is important for you and making sure that it's natural and organic and sustainable and in alignment with what you're really here for and who you were born to become, and those dreams that you've had in your heart probably for a long, long time. And one of the ways that I help people is through kind of giving full expression to themselves and especially their gifts, and obviously really valuing their gifts highly and working in a way that allows them to have a lot of free time, not to be in like slave girl, just working every hour God sends, but to be owning their value, honoring their medicine, and really charging well for the transformation they provide, which brings up a lot for women because we have not been taught or raised to charge a lot. We have not been raised to talk about money. You know, money's been a very difficult subject, a very taboo area, and we have a lot of shame and a lot of stuff on money. It's the same as sex. Louise Hay always says it's, you know, two subjects really hard to talk about, money and sex. So I want to invite you to just take a deep breath. There may be things that come up today. You may feel triggered, you may feel frightened, you may feel out of your depth or confused at some points, overwhelmed. Just know that that can be part of your resistance, your ego trying to kind of keep you small or hold you back or keep you doing things the way you've always done them. But you wouldn't be here with me wanting a quantum leap if you wanted to do things the way you've always done them, right? So hold on tight because we're going to have a really good day today. I can feel it. Welcome to the call. Thanks for saying hi in the chat. Hi Ariana, hi Marsha. Do say hi if you're with us, and please put your intention for being here in the group chat because that's so powerful. It's really amazing to take a moment at the start of anything you do. So I'm going to invite you to just put aside your distractions. This is so important. Like, focus will get you way more results than effort. Focus is where it's at. So if you can fully be with me now, let's have quality time together. What you are learning about is how to inject quality into all that you do so that you're not in chaos, you're not in scattergun, you're not in your energy dispersed and all over the place, but you're powerful and you're connected and you're guided and aligned. And when you're with your kids, you're with your kids. When you're with your lover, you're with your lover. When you're with your clients, you're with your clients. When you're with God, you know, that's all the time. So don't worry about it. But when you pray and when you connect, when you meditate, you're there in that moment. And so many of us are not living in the moment. We're living in our stories about the past and what happened in the past, or our fears about the future, or our dreams of the future. You know, we're in fantasy land, or we're not grounded into this day, this moment, you know. And I think there's a lot to be said for living as though this is your last day, but I also think there's a lot to be said for living as though you've got another 2,000 years. I like to flip stuff, right? It's like, well, you only live once, and like you're only here for a short time. It's like, well, what if you're here for a really long time? You know, they've just done this new innovation in science where if you live to 2030, for every year of your life that you have after that, you get another year. Kind of mind-blowing, right? So our life expectancy, if you're under like 40 at the moment, is probably more around 100 than 60 or 70. So we're in a very powerful, special, amazing time where the advances we're making in technology and in our consciousness are completely unprecedented. And we're living in a time where what's possible for women is completely unprecedented. And what's possible for you as a coach, as a healer, as a light worker, as a business owner, as a creative, we've never had a time like this. I mean, Ed Sheeran just broke the charts this week because he just released all of his albums and just like it, you know, broke the top 10 because his every single on his album got into the top 10. So I think, right, he's like number one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I mean, we're just living in this time where the old ways don't work anymore, and those dinosaurs are going to go extinct. So it's really exciting. And people are really understanding, wow, I do have power and I do create this. And I'm not here to fix a broken world. I'm here to live as me, the best as I can, and enjoy it and give what I'm here to give and be who I'm here to be. So set your intention, write it in the chat. I invite you to fully be here present. Put aside your distractions, turn off your phone, like radical. I'm going to do that too. Just put it on flight mode for a bit. Oh, it's on. Good. And let's be together. Let's call forth a powerful intention for you that whatever breakthrough you need to have today, you're going to have. And in the meantime, I'm going to be talking with you. I'm going to be sharing a little bit about my journey. I'm not going to go too massively into my background today. You can read about me online if you're just new to me and new to my story and stuff. I want to really give you the most that I can in this time that we've got together. So I'm not going to go too in depth into my background, but I am going to share with you a bit more about what these offers are about, how you can integrate them into your business. I'd love to hear what your business is currently like and how you're already using these offers or not. We're going to talk about the kind of why you want to be doing this, like what's the benefit and how this has really changed my life a lot. And then I'm going to run you through like 5 keys. We're going to talk about how your intuition can help you to create the ideal package that's next for you, get the right offer for your people, and then the other keys that you need to be able to do this congruently and confidently in your business so that you can make so much more money. You can make such a quantum leap. Whatever you're making right now, you can add a 0 onto that this year. It doesn't have to take a long time. And that you can free up your bandwidth and your time to really live in alignment with what it is that you dream of and how you want a presence in this world. Right? It's very important how you show up. You know, when you're vibrating at love or above at like 500 on the, you know, the Power versus Force. If you haven't read that book by David Hawkins, I highly recommend you get it. Power versus Force is a scale, a vibrational scale of where different emotions and energies show up. And when you're at love, you're vibrating at 500, and then the higher levels are like joy, bliss, you know, compassion and peace. And, you know, the truth is that this program isn't just called high ticket, make big money in your business. It's called high ticket, high frequency, you know, increase your income and your impact, because you are here to be a positive vibrational power on this planet, connected with all that is, you know, a light in the darkness, a beacon, and someone who you're the only one who can just be you and show up as you. And that's the whole deal. You're not here to show up as the goddess version of you, or the, I don't know, spiritual teacher version of you, or the most spiritual you. You're here to be the most true you, the most full, the fully expressed you. It's not here to be the mother of you, right? Like just one aspect. You're here to be full in your expression. Woman, mother, lover, right? Witch, care, like nurturer, all of it, the whole rainbow, mad, angry, happy, afraid, like you get to be it all. So bring all of you in, because we need all of you to be able to move forward as powerfully as we can. And then when you start to master that, you really start to understand that this, what I'm about to teach you, is not hard. It is not hard, but it does take extraordinary courage some days. Most days it's not that challenging on that level either, but there are going to be days where your fears come up and you have to face yourself. You have to look into the abyss, right, of your deepest fears, look them in the eye and be like, that's an illusion. That is an illusion. That's not truth. What's the truth? And then really be connected to a bigger story, and stop telling the small stories and excuses that are hampering you and disempowering you and keeping you from your full reality. You're really living your dreams. Like those dreams in your heart, they're there for a reason. And God, Spirit, the universe doesn't put those dreams in your heart without the possibility to make them happen. And that's a belief that I hold dear, and that's helped me many times where I've looked at something and thought, God, how is this ever going to happen? And then it's like, no, I would not have this dream in my heart, you know, if God didn't want me to have this. So God has my man, God has my ideal clients, God has my home, like whatever I need, I put it in this place of like, no, it's meant to happen. It might not be here right now. I might not be getting what I want right now, but I'm getting what I need. So we're all grown-ups here. I'm not here to pretend that you're going to listen to this webinar and boom, you're going to be out there making 6 figures overnight, like rocking and rolling with your new clients. The truth is, you know, you need a plan and you need great offers. You need a good peer group, and probably to some extent, I certainly did, you're going to find you need mentoring. And like, it really can be quite quick and it can be quite fun and it isn't hard. It does just take courage to say yes to yourself. So I'm going to tell you everything I can in the time that we've got together. And then at the end, I'll let you know a little bit more about if you want to get those pieces in place, working with me, how you can do that, and we can journey together a bit deeper. So I just want to read the chat here from you. Hi, clear your old money story, love yourself unconditionally, move forward, attract ideal clients, beautiful, live my soul purpose too. Oh, I love that. Ariana, you're such a bright light. Awesome. Okay, so I've got a few notes. If I look down, it's only because I want to do a great job of sharing with you the keys to this and helping you to really get the distinctions that are going to take you forward today and help you to really make a shift. So real quick, if you don't know my story, basically for about 10 years, I was fascinated and filled and consumed with how the mind works, how energy works, how we create, how we manifest. And I became very dedicated to a meditation practice, to a healing practice, and also to marketing, because I had this revelation that, basically in the Amazon jungle, which I ended up going down to the Amazon jungle after a 72-hour online fundraiser. And we raised about $50,000 in 72 hours for the rainforest. And so as an exchange, the tribe said, look, we believe in sacred reciprocity and we want you to come down. And so we spent this amazing 2 weeks in the jungle and going through Ecuador. And we learned about how this is the time on the planet that all the prophecies around the world say that the eagle and the condor will fly together in the same sky, wing to wing. And what that means is the eagle people are like the Westerners and the North Americans who have reached a zenith of technology and a zenith of science, but they're spiritually impoverished to their peril. The condor people are spiritually at a zenith. They have their wisdom, this deep heart connection and intuition very powerfully, but they're materially impoverished to their peril. And this is the time where the prophecies say that these two birds will fly together wing to wing. So science and technology will start supporting the intuitive and the creative and the heart-led. And so isn't that beautiful? So when I was kind of like growing up in my 20s, here I was, can you imagine? I was with a very successful internet marketer who wrote copy, like $1 million sales letters for marketers all around the world. And for 3 years, we traveled everywhere, and we were going to all the big seminars and staying over at these retreats which we were invited to, with like all the old school big internet marketers, Armand Morin, Stephen Pearce, Yannick Silver, Joe Polish, like all of that crowd, you know, and I was this young like healer. So I was just like, God, what is this? But I loved the guy I was with, and I was an English graduate, and he had never done any English, and I used to proofread all of his copy, and that's where I learned to write copy. So for 3 years I got my chops proofreading and rewriting and editing and just getting the spellings right and stuff like that. And I started to get 1 or 2 copy clients towards the end of that time together, because his workload was so huge, because he was very, very well known and very successful, very good at it, real creator. And that's how the Amazon thing came about, because one day I was like, we're flying so much, you know, we've got to offset this, we've got to do something. Anyway, so as a healer in those rooms, though, at those conferences, like, can you imagine the amount of energy I was picking up on, being like, some of these people aren't living their life purpose. Like, these people are not meant to be selling dog grooming books. They're meant to be doing this, you know, working with people in this way. And it was quite painful. And when I heard the prophecy, I was like, oh my God, I'm here to help be that bridge as well. Like, I'm here to help all of those healers, all of those gifted seers, and the people like me that, like, they're sensitive and they love people, and they just, you know, they just want to share, and they want to give, and they want to help, and they want to uplift, like, help those people to really manifest abundance through, you know, these more science and technology ways, like the science of sales, the technology of business, the internet, you know, getting their message out and reaching the world with their gifts. And I just saw it so clearly, and I was like, that's what I got to do. Like, I've got to figure out how to do that. So when my relationship ended just towards the end of 2009, I found myself at ground zero. Like, I'd given everything to this guy. You know, I was not really, you know, I didn't get paid. I just did my thing. Like, I just helped him out, ran the back end of his business, and we were together. And then, you know, but it was not necessarily great for me, because when we broke up, I had like nothing, and I was 28, and I was back at my mom and dad's place, and feeling pretty much like a failure. You know, broke, single, totally alone, on my knees and in my childhood bedroom, and just feeling like, God, I've been reading these books and saying these mantras, and my mom and dad think I'm crazy. And all this time, you know, I haven't really made this piece about money work for myself. Like, here I am broke again, embarrassed and humiliated. So much positivity, so much like good dreams and everything. I believe in this stuff, but why is it not working? So I kind of like hit the prayer mat basically, and I started just going for it. And I said to my intuition, I said to God, I said, I am willing to do whatever it takes. Now, whatever it took was, I had to sell my car, fly to Las Vegas to attend an event. My intuition was like, go to that event. So I did that. And then I had to enroll in this woman's highest level program that was like $10,000 a month. And I had no idea where it was going to come from. And then after that, like, I had to continue. My intuition kept being like, do that, go there, work with her, do this. It didn't stop. But as I was doing it, I started to see these miracles coming in, and it was working. So because I put myself in mentoring, I put myself under the guidance of somebody who was already where I wanted to be. Like, you know, I met my first mentor in America, and I was like, she gets it. Like, she is doing what I do, but I just don't charge for it. I don't know how to value it. And so when I saw her charging like $100,000 a year, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, she was like a millionaire. And I was like, I do that. Like, I could do that. So it changed my life. And that is why I'm here with you today, because I'm passionate about this. And I'm very fortunate to be in a place right now where, I mean, it tears me up right now, because like, I have 3 little babies under 5, and I don't rush out the door ever. I've never had to like peel them off me and drop them in a nursery. I have got the most wonderful nanny and home set up and lifestyle that I am just truly grateful for. And although I've had my ups and downs in my last 5 to 7 years of business, where I started my business in 2010, and through this work that I told you about, like, I was investing, I actually like rocketed to 6 figures very quickly within like 4 months, because of the way I stayed in mentoring, the way I applied what I was learning. And I just I was just ferocious. Like I followed my intuition to a fault. Like I was like, I'm in, because if this doesn't work, I have to go get a job, and I don't want to go get a job. So I invested tens of thousands, and I didn't have that money. I got credit cards, I got graduate loans. I was just not willing to make any more excuses about why I couldn't do this and why I was small, because I knew I was powerful, and I knew if she could do it, I could do it. You know, so I sold my car, and that was all I had. I only had my little Mini Rio, my black Mini Rio. I literally was at my mum and dad's place when I sold my car. This woman came up from Birmingham to buy my car. She was like fully in Arab gear, and my dad totally embarrassed me, and he was like, "Shalom," on the drive, and I was like, "Oh my god, Dad, stop! I got to get 1,200 quid out of this woman, else I'm not going to Vegas to meet my mentor." So it was a mental time, but it was a very guided time. And sometimes I think when you're on your knees, it's the best place to be to receive wisdom and intuition, because you got nothing to lose, and you're on your knees. It's the best place to pray. You know, it's the best place to be humble and be like, I don't know. I've tried everything I know to do, so now you got to help me out. But I did get very clear and specific. I need this much money this month to pay my bills. God, you got to help me get £1,500 this month so I can move out of my parents' house, rent this place to live. And I found the place to live, and I acted with faith. And then it was a question of quantum leaping each month. So I took the 1,500, and then the next month I was like, okay, I need 2,500, and I made 3. And I was like, wow, I just doubled my income. Okay, so this month let me try for 5 or 6, because I was putting in place lots of action. And what happened was, it was fascinating. Instead of doubling, it started compounding. So it was like 5 went to 35, went to 70, because I got it inside of my being. So I got the truth about money and manifesting. It was like this new paradigm. It was just shown to me. It was energy. And it wasn't, I was putting all my energy in the physical world. I was putting all my focus in the world of form. But when I put my focus into my heart, and almost into my grid kind of thing, like, no, I'm doing this no matter what, and I'm calling in this, and I'm staying in my routines, and I'm staying with myself. It was like it was allowed to just do that, to show me that it was possible. And it was completely mind-blowing. I mean, it was kind of scary. I think this is partly what we women do. We back off from our power because we've been burned for it. In our DNA, we still have that shadow of, holy fuck, it's not safe for me to be this powerful. If you really start to get the game, and it's not really very well taught, it isn't taught, I don't think, yet, because we're still discovering it. We're still discovering how the feminine actually manifests. We're seeing in the world, the patriarchy, the masculine world, that yang world, how that they create through force. If something's in the way, we'll plow it down. It's just let's make it happen. The feminine is the way that the feminine manifests is you create the environment that allows the manifestation to take place. So the way you get pregnant is you create the environment that is not stressed, that is healthy and balanced, that your hormones are in line, and then you take action, you have sex, and then the seed is sown, and the baby is created. And then your job is to provide the environment, to keep providing the environment, to keep the environment healthy, and life does the rest. That's the feminine. My job was not to be pushing and forcing and hammering and making it happen and selling my stuff and It was my job was to stay connected to God, to keep the environment right around me, to declutter, to keep my thoughts right, to speak as I wanted to create, to hang around with the right people. That's the high frequency bit. And so this is the piece why I love this work so much, because it's way beyond putting your prices up. This is not about money even. It's not about putting your prices up. That's just a wonderful byproduct. It's a wonderful bonus that comes from you being on your purpose, aligned in your frequency, trusting yourself, going after your truth. Because this is what I want to give. This is what I want to share. This is what I want to create. And I'm excited. And just like when you were excited about you found a new restaurant and the food is unbelievable, and you're like, you have to go. You know, or there's an amazing movie, like, you've got to watch Crazy Stupid Love, Ryan Gosling in that scene, oh my God, wait till you see his six-pack. You know, you're passionate, you want to share it, you can't help yourself but share it, because you're lit up and it's like flowing out of you. And so that's what they call marketing, right? Like, we've got to get you into a state where you are so connected and excited that it's natural for you to want to share your work. And then it's natural for people to want to do that because they can feel that. And so the natural byproduct is as much money as you can handle, as you can stand. Because the real work often is like releasing all of our junk that we have about receiving. And most women in Britain can't even take a compliment. So how they can let themselves get paid? That's our real work. So just outed myself. That's what we really do together. And so, you know, this isn't hard at all. It's natural, and you can find ease with it. I tell you what's hard. Hard is struggling and staying low vibe and staying low value and putting in all this effort and hustling your butt off, and not feeling lit up and excited anyway about what you're doing, and thinking, fucking hell, that wasn't enough money, like I just worked my ass off for that, you know. Excuse my French, sorry, I hope nobody minds me cussing. It's just that's actually what goes through your head, isn't it? You know, you think, bloody hell, like, that's not working for me, I'm wrung out, I'm depleted. And that's what I see with so many well-meaning coaches and light workers. They're depleted, they're not abundant, they're not in their strength, in their power, their boundaries are awful. And so therefore, they're not valuing themselves. And then it is impossible to value someone who is not valuing themselves. If you are not investing in you, how on earth can you ask anyone else to invest in themselves through you? It doesn't work like that way round. I see people doing that all the time, working on these false premises. Well, when I've got the money and when I'm getting paid, then I'll get a coach. No. Good luck with that. See you in 5 years when you're still stuck in the same place. Like, you've got to become the person right now that allows yourself to create the environment where the manifestation can take place. And that environment usually means, you know, you need a midwife, you need a coach, you need a mentor, you need someone with you to hold you, to help you to create that. And the other thing I see people doing is like, oh, I'll get some support when I've got enough money. It doesn't work like that. Like, you have to commit, and then the money shows up. Like I say, when the speaker's ready, the gigs appear. Like, I went and I did a speaker training course. I got my order forms, I got my headshots, I got my bio, I had photos taken before I knew what was coming. But I was like, this is what I'm doing. This is my path. Like, I am in. And it doesn't matter to me how long it takes, because this is what I want to do. And because I was in that very committed space where I was in, but I was not attached, I was like, well, I'm going to need this at some point. The speaking gigs started showing up, and I had a speaking gig for 20 women, and then for like 350 business owners. And that was that big quantum leap between March and April 2010, where I spoke to 20 people in November and 300 people in March with the same offer, but I added a zero onto it. I made, 30 grand from the stage in 90 minutes, and then 70 grand a few weeks later in an event, upselling and offering a high level offer. It's again why I'm absolutely passionate about what I'm teaching you today. Okay, let me just see if there's any questions. Everyone's here, cool. Everyone all right? Just give me a little hi. I know I just went on a bit of a rant, so let me know you're still here. Let me know this is working for you or not. I know my teaching style can be more of a transmission sometimes, so I'd love to hear whether you're getting value, if you've got any questions, and if you need anything. Okay, great. Marsha says, totally agree. Made 8K in 2 weeks working with you, Kat. Oh, thanks, Marsha. What was your before digits? I couldn't remember that. Yeah, how the feminine creates, totally. Great. Okay, amazing. Good. All right. Well, you're in the right space, and so am I. So that's awesome. All right, I'm going to work through some of my more kind of formalized points here. So you can grab a pen and paper if you want to, or you can just keep receiving it if that feels better. Just sort of take a deep breath. Okay, let's just do a little stretch. Let's put our hands on our hearts and imagine all of your energy going down into your feet for a minute. So take a deep breath and connect with the earth. And just like drop any heaviness in your body down to the earth, and give her any old stories, any old conditioning, any limitations, any junk or tension in your muscles or body, head, cloudy in your heart, anything you need to let go of. Have the intention right now. Take a deep breath and just let it go. Just let it drop, be absorbed into Mother Earth, and give thanks for her taking that, transforming it, taking that density. Good job. Okay, so now connecting with a beautiful big ball of source energy. True divine light, way, like 300 feet or more above your head. Tap into that light and allow it to flow down through your crown and through your whole body, and let it go all the way down into these roots coming out from your feet that go all the way to the core of the earth. So imagine this light flowing through you, through your feet, down into the heart of the earth. And when it gets there, it bounces back up like a trampoline and into your heart, and just feel that warm, loving liquid light bouncing up into your heart, flowing out at 360 degrees into your whole energy field, the room that you're in, the house that you're in, the street that you're on, the town or area that you're in. Let that light flow out across the state or country or county. That's great. Out through the whole of Mother Earth and into space, into the universe. This light coming out from the earth as we're all connecting with source energy through our bodies into Mother Earth, coming back up and through our hearts, radiating out into the universe. And feel the lightness, the vibration of your true expanded self. Take a deep breath here. Let it be easy, let it be good. Let it in, and just have the intention, like, God, whatever I've been resisting, or universe, higher self, whatever I've been resisting that is for my highest good, allow me to let it in now. God, universe, higher self, allow any stories I've been telling about why I can't have my good now be dissolved. And let them go. Uncreate, delete, and de-story any blocks to receiving fully everything that you desire and need that's for your highest good and the highest good of all life. Deep breath in. Okay, good. And so it is. Okay, so just gently now, like, imagine yourself coming back and to your body and your own energy field, and just seal your own energy field for the day. Feel like the protection in that, and the connectedness, the groundedness, the lightness in that. Rub your hands together. You might want to stamp your feet. Have a little wiggle. Bring yourself back. Just quickly check the chat here. Oh, before you, 1,500 a month, now 8 grand, 10 grand a month. So Marsha says, before 1,500 a month, now 8 grand, 10 grand a month. Marsha, how many months was your frequency at 1,500? Just curious. It's great. So to understand, like how we can quantumly, we can hit these income plateaus where we stay at them for years. I worked with someone in the program I'm going to tell you about a bit at the end, in the high ticket, high frequency program when I first did it live, and it was 2014. And at the time it was 5 grand because it was live. So we went through the audios, and we on one of our Q&A sessions one time, she sort of had this breakthrough around money. And she let me know that she'd been an acupuncturist for 10 years, making $1 grand a month for 10 years. So in 10 years, she'd been making 12 grand a year. So in 10 years, she'd made 120 grand roughly, okay? She went through the program, and she went to $500,000 US in 9 months. She actually got a 6-figure client. It was insane. Like, she'd come from a family background with a lot of money, and so she kind of had an inheritance, so she was always okay financially, but she didn't need to make money from her business. And when she joined this high ticket, high frequency program, she was like, like, I'm going to cut off my inheritance to do this program because I really need to change my relationship with money, where I'm not relying anymore on my parents and on my trust. Like, I'm going to not take that to live off. I'm going to learn how to create money, because I know energy, and I'm an acupuncturist and I'm bloody good, and I get energy, and I need to transform this reality, and I know I can. And I was like, amazing, let's do it. So fun, and it blew even my mind. Like, she was like, so where's your 6-figure program? I was like, okay, whoa. Like, I've created not a monster, like the best kind of, it was just like amazing. The pupil became the teacher. She was like, where's your 6-figure program? I was just like, okay, good work. You totally flipped your mindset, and that the danger is becoming comfortable. The danger is you get stuck in these plateaus, these income plateaus, and you start to like ride that, and it's like, it's easy, it's comfortable, you know what you're doing, and you kind of look back at some of the times where you maybe changed something in your life before. You're like, oh, am I really willing to kind of like go through that messy transformation bit, kind of just have the result? And it's like, no, you have to go through the messy transformation bit most times. It's always worth it. It's always worth it. So huge leaps are possible, and this is about mindset. And sorry, what does Marsha say? Okay, so she said, started working on 9th of January 2017, and I haven't been back there since. Sure, but how long were you at 1500? That's partly the fascination for me, because I know I was plateauing for 10 years, like a decade. How do we do that? It's kind of like what we do in relationships, right? We stay in something for years and years, even when we know deep down it's not quite right. We do that with our money. We stay in a frequency that we know isn't what we want, but we're comfortable with the dysfunction of it somehow. We find these excuses and these stories and these reasons why it's easier to stay where we are than change. At least a year. So, and then before that, Marsha, like, was that, anyway, I'm just curious about that stuff. So I think it's fascinating. So let's just have a quick look at some of the points. How are we doing for time? As you can tell, I'm not a being that is in time. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, what I think I've done is cover an overview of the points through what I've been sharing, and I really trust what comes through me, that transmission being, what you guys have called out of me today. So I'm just going to rattle through these points, okay? And I'll show you how to get more in a minute. But I just want to talk about the intuition piece. So when it comes to your offer, so the 5 keys you need, let me just do the proper teaching bit. The 5 keys you need to these high level offers, really to look at, okay, is number 1, your offer. Number 2, you need the right mastermind. You need the right group of people around you that are on this kick, that are doing this piece, that are buoying you up when you get stuck. You can run things past them. All of the, how it is. Like, you don't want peers that don't make it okay for you to have this as a goal. There's a lot of shaming that goes on, a lot of stories that happen, and it's like, you can really get lost in that. So you have to have a peer group that are okay with you going for it and charging and valuing your work. Boundaries is number 3, and this is key, and this comes up over and over and over and over again. And Marsha, you can relate to this, right, from our recent coaching. So Marsha spent 8 years earning 500 to 700 a month, and did earn 5K in 1 month, but then there would be months after that she would earn nothing. And what's changed for her is being connected to my vibration, oh bless you, and changing her mindset and being in her power. Yeah, and I laugh, but that's true. There's definitely a piece where, I used to have all this ego. I'm going to talk about this because this is really important. I used to have all this ego about what am I going to put in my high value programs, and what am I going to do, and how's it going to be, and I'll bring my little spreadsheets and I'm going to create this formula, and what's my signature system. And I used to get really stuck on all that. And I suddenly started realizing that the more I was filling and cramming my programs, the more it was because I had these worth issues where I had to do everything for this client to ensure the result because they were paying me 10 grand or whatever. And sometimes it was working against them anyway, because there wasn't actually enough space for them to do their work, to expand into who they needed to be. And the more that I was able, and my mentor was helping me with this because I was in a 6-figure coaching program, to lean back and create the space and be present. So like presence over performance. Like they weren't paying me 10 grand to like do tricks for them and show how great I was. They were paying me 10 grand to get the energetic exchange of what that's like to lift yourself into a frequency and then come into a space where they're committed to themselves at that level. And then I would do everything and anything within my power to support them. Oh, you need this. Oh, you can copy that, like borrow this, model it, change it, whatever you need to do. Oh, this is about that. Like, but it was about opening the space for the transformation without cramming it full of what my agenda was, which is what people do when they're in fear. It's what people do when they're in lack, when they're thinking they're not enough and like, oh God, how am I going to provide the value? It's not about that. That's your ego. That's your stuff. The person's getting the transformation through the investment in themselves, through you. They're paying themselves through you. And then within that space, you hold the frequency. The money creates the energetic, if you like. It creates the foundation and the frequency for them to be lifted up into their next level. Which is why, you can sometimes go step by step with people rather than just like 0 to 50. Some people can go 0 to 50, but they're kind of few and far between. Most people need to have stages. But certainly I've seen people easily go from like a $97 product to a conversation to a $4,000 VIP day. At the time it was $4,000, and then coming on a retreat for $5,000, and then doing a $16,000 one-to-one program that happened just last year, from listening to a $97 e-course. So if you haven't, this is the fourth point, right? Become the person who sells the packages. If you don't have this 80-20 rule working in your business, you're leaving thousands on the table. The person that sells the packages is working the Pareto Principle, because you're going like 80% of your energy. Sorry, let me just say this again. Rewind. Okay. Most people are focusing 80% on their energy on the 20% income. So they're focusing on e-courses and e-books and lead magnets and tripwires and funnels. And that's all fine, but you're probably making 20% of what's available income-wise. So if you're someone who does mainly products and e-courses, but you really desire a bigger, higher end offer, like a back end, get excited, because whatever you've been earning is 20% of what you're capable of. So the 80% is the Pareto's principle, that 80% of the money, the income, comes from 20% of your clients, right? They're from the top 20%. So if you imagine an airplane, about 1/5 of the plane is first class and 4/5 is economy. But they are making the same or much more money from the first class seats, the 20 seats at $6,000, than from all of those seats in economy. So we're looking at how do you create the first class experience where people turn left instead of right, and take your business out of economy and into luxury, into first class, and into, honestly for me, like I've hardly had any 20%. Like I just focused on the 80% because I wanted a simple, easy business model. I'm high touch, low tech. I know where I'm good. I know what I'm good at. And that's people getting on the phone and working in these transformative ways. And so basically, it was a no-brainer for me to just focus on this whilst I wanted a lot of free time. I went and had 3 babies in the last 5 years. So I would have died. Like I don't know where I would be at if I'd focused on a front-end business model. Like honestly, I don't know where I'd be at. Thank God that I had this working in my life these last few years, because no matter what else has gone on, no matter what chaos I've ridden, what transformation I've been through, I've been able to just have a very simple, easy business that took 2-3 days a week and made sustainable 6 figures every year. So let's just see what you guys are saying. I get on my calls now. I have no agenda. I just hold the space for the person I work with, not from needing a client. I learned this from you. Now this is so beautiful for me. And as you say, you show me to lean back. Yeah. Haha, that's me working on the 20%. Hey, that's exciting, Karen. That's awesome. That's great. Well, great. Sky's the limit in that case. Just in that leaning back piece, it's not about, I'm not making structures wrong. Like structures are important, and it's not about throwing that out, but it's just about understanding the difference between trying to cram something in. Because a lot of people are like, what do you need to put in your programs? That is something that I go through in detail in the high ticket, high frequency online course. I also cover more about boundaries, mindset, money, the service conversation, how to do this in an elegant way that is not hustling and pushing, but that has a power to it through creating the state and the mindset and the strategy to put this together in the most simple way possible. It's exactly the same journey that I took to get myself to 6 figures the first year that I was in business. And actually it's the improved version of that, because I created this program live in 2014. It was £5,000 to do live. And honestly, I was very, very scared and unsure about releasing this as a program that people could go through. And I'll tell you why. Like, as I explained to you, a big part of the transformation is somebody's commitment to the work, and the investment required to get somebody to commit is often more than they're comfortable paying. So doing a product or a program at this price point where it's $1,332, so $1,332 if you do the installment plan, but if you want to pay in full, it's $997, and that includes VAT. Oh no, it doesn't include VAT, sorry. Then you have to add VAT if you're in the UK or Europe, not if you're in the States. So it was very scary for me to release that. $997 US. This is information that previously I've only shared with the people who are paying much greater amounts in higher ticket programs. So I've wrestled with this for literally 3 years, getting this baby out. I've hired people to, come in and make the program as best it can be, because I've just been like, how do I make sure they get the transformation if they're not working with me one-to-one? And I've had to go through my own journey of dropping limiting beliefs that it is possible. Now, I want to put a caveat on this. I am still a big believer that if you really want to sell at a certain investment point, you have to be invested in yourself at that point, or have truly gone to that level in yourself. I'd say it's probably impossible. It's certainly very difficult and incongruent to charge an amount that you haven't yourself put down and bet on your own horse for. And that was my conundrum. I didn't want people to take this information that I knew could change their life, that I knew they could go and run with, if they weren't willing to invest in themselves and commit to their own growth and their own getting out of their own comfort zone, because it just won't work. So the truth is, everything you need is in this program to create your high-end offers. But if you're somebody that's trying to take the shortcut and not invest in yourself, and you haven't been willing to commit to yourself in one-to-one coaching or retreat or high-level mentoring, don't look at this as a shortcut. I don't want this to be an enabler for people that aren't willing to do what it takes. But if you are willing to do what it takes, and it doesn't have to be with me, then this, what I mean is, you don't have to invest higher frequency with me. It's if you have somebody else that you want to go work with, this will allow you to take the steps to absolutely be charging a lot more for what you do. And if you're working at the moment for time for hours and stuff like that, and charging £50 an hour a session or something, then this is absolutely for you. And you're going to invest $997 in getting it, so you can certainly make that leap already and be charging $997. That would be a no-brainer. But then if you want to go beyond that, I suggest you get more support, and it's my integrity to tell you that. Okay, so I suggest you do go into higher level coaching if that is something that you want to offer. Okay, let me just check in for the time. Can somebody just tell me the time? We've got a few minutes. Great. Okay, let me just wind it up again. Hi everyone, that was nice to briefly see. So does everybody just pop in the chat if that makes sense? Is everybody with me on that? Here we go. Karen, my resistance is the getting on the phone with people. I've tried high ticket with my perfume people, but it doesn't feel right. They don't want that. Perfect. So that's great that you know that that's not the marketplace that you need to be selling that to. I don't want to do it. Fine. But this is what is exciting. I can see a new direction for me that I will feel good about at a high level. I can see that for you too, Karen. So resistance is getting on the phone with people. Great. Let's talk to that, because that's actually one of the keys that I cover in detail in the program. That is true for everybody. Like, it is definitely scary getting on the phone. And there's a few pieces I can give you now, and then there is more about this in the program. We do a whole module on that and a whole week spent on it. The piece to remember is you're gonna feel resistant. Like, it just is so. So what I do, honestly, is, and especially like, so now I've got much less resistance because it doesn't scare me now as much. And I don't need the sales as much as I did in the beginning, right? Before I was much more like nervous and I hadn't done it and it didn't feel good. I teach a way that I think Marsha spoke to about the leaning back. I teach a way in the program that is so easy and feels so good that you probably won't find that resistance is there. And I get the hit, Karen, that like this was more about getting the right offer for the right marketplace anyway for you. Sounds like you weren't, your intuition was like, no, don't call them, they're not going to want that, and this is going to be humiliating for you, you know. So you trust that. You've got great intuition, Karen. I think the piece is, though, when you do have the right offer for the right person, and you take those sales inquiries, you have those discovery calls or strategy sessions or whatever you want to call them. I call them service conversations, to find out whether you guys are a fit together. There's something so beautiful about it. Like, I look forward to them now because they are still a bit scary, but they're like exciting scary. So Gay Hendricks says, fear is excitement without the breath. And that's the most powerful way to flip the resistance, to be like, I don't want to do this. And then, okay, I don't want to do this because on some level I'm afraid of rejection. I'm afraid of, you know, what they can think of me. And it's like, there's two pieces. There's state, story, and strategy. That's three. Sorry, there's three pieces. State, story, and strategy. So your state, take a deep breath, pray. Great Spirit, universe, like, if this is for the highest good of all, tell me what to say. Help me open this possibility and allow this to land in the most, you know, powerful and harmonious way. Story, the storytelling, oh God, I don't do this, oh no, they're only going to say no, they haven't got any money, and da, 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 da. Just like, have your story be like, I'm a role model for, you know, successful women in business, or whatever, Karen, that you want to say. Story, I'm going to look forward to, I can only control what I give, I can only control how I show up, and I'm safe. Like, tell a new story, like, it's safe for me to make offers, it's safe for me to have conversations with people. You know, feel the shift in your body, like, I'm safe, and do whatever it takes for you to feel safe. You know, have a little bit of incense going, or light a candle, like, relax. You know, you can even have a bit of nice music playing. And then strategy, right? Like, I teach a good structure in the course that is really powerful and really easy. And it just gives you some riverbanks so that you can direct the call and hold it in a way that gets them to an outcome and allows them to make a decision that's best for them and doesn't make you look like an idiot or feel embarrassed or like an idiot. Whatever happens, they'll get value from the call and you'll leave in a good way. And if it is a yes, you'll be able to close that and get the money in the bank and start the work together and be in that really powerful space. So, you know, that's my thoughts on the sales conversation. It's such a good point, though. Thank you for bringing it up. We all have that resistance, but it does get easier. And when you've got those three pieces, you can sail it. Oh, introverted hermit. So is James. I think I've got a lot of shyness. I've got a lot of hermit lines. I think I'm probably an extrovert. I'm not sure. Need to look into it. Yeah, James is doing loads of high ticket sales at the moment. He's just fine. He's like, oh my God, you've helped me. I understand now. I get it. And he's enjoying it. So it's there for us all, you know. And like I say, be really excited, Karen. Like, it's great, you know, when you get the right offer for the right marketplace with all your experience and everything you've been through. It's really good, really great. Okay, so let me tell you a bit about what I've got for you today. I'm looking up because I've just got to make sure I say this right. Right, so this is what you need to know. This is an online training where you will go through the exact journey that my clients went through in 2014, where the girl Lexi went from the acupuncturist, you know, 120 grand over 10 years to 500,000 in 9 months. And you'll get the modules delivered through the classroom. And there will be, what we're doing, starting on Monday, there will be a reboot Facebook group, a members area, so that you can connect and have a peer group with you as you go through it. You don't have to go through it all in the time, and you don't have to get to the end to start working it and making it work for you. You don't have to go through it in any particular order. You can get the bits that you need and take them forward. So Karen, I'd suggest go straight to the module on the sales conversation, for example. And then you get lifetime access so that you can continue to refresh and work with the pieces, especially the pieces about, we talk about the high frequency piece, so raising your vibration. There's meditations and exercises that can support you to do that. And every call starts with a prayer like we did today. So you'll get a meditation at the start of every session around that, what we're learning in that module. So I think you'll find, hopefully if you're anything like me, you'll find that this program works to the energy and to the strategy of creating the offers that you love. And the way to get your hands on it, if you know that you want to be in and you just want to pay, go to one.highticket.live and you can pay $9.97 and you can start straight away and be in the group. And I'll be in there all the time in the Facebook group helping you out with things. And I'll do the odd Facebook live and things if you have lots of questions. But everything's in there for you ready. 4.highticket.live if you want to do the payment plan. And if you want to have a look at the sales page and everything that's laid out for you there, catherinediva.com/VIP/high-ticket. And I think you need to put that slash on too, just check. Okay, and so I'm a big results junkie. I love seeing things come about and watching my clients go to the next level, whatever that is. And whether that's like getting started to making their first 6 figures, to I've even seen clients go to the millions and beyond. And I've loved every minute of that. And like, I want to incentivize this for you because I'm somebody that I sometimes need a bit of a push. I need a bit of a nudge, and I like to wait till last minute and I procrastinate and I'm an art even when I know I really want something. So to give you a little nudge on this, I'm going to give a free Q&A included with this on creating your ideal offers. And we will workshop the exact offer that you need to make that is right for your people, and the price point, and any other questions you have about creating the offering that is right for you and your people. And I have done a lot of this in the past, and it's like I've got a sixth sense on this stuff. Like I can smell a good offer and I know how to price it because I can muscle test and do the energy on like that's going to sell. And then obviously I've got like a marketer's copywriting brain to boot. So we will be doing this live class. It will be a couple of weeks from that. It won't be straight away, but get enrolled in the classroom and all the details will be in the Facebook group. Watch your inbox for that. That will be before the end of April. So before the end of this period, if you jump on this, you have to be in on this webinar to get that live class. Okay. So you have to commit to yourself, make this decision. If this is a yes in your gut, in your heart, decide and commit, and you will get access to the live class with me where I will personally help you to create your ideal offer. We will stay on the line till everybody has got happy with the offer that they are creating. So I'll walk you through how to do it as well so that you can use it in future. I'm not just going to feed you a fish. I'm going to teach you exactly how to fish so that you can have that skill for the rest of your life and you can help your clients with it as well. It's really, really cool, this stuff. Once you've got the offer right, so much more comes into place. And with a really good offer, actually, kind of informs your brand and everything else. Like some of my best offers, like the Ecuador offer, really had a bigger impact than just that offer. Like it gets you visible, it gets you social media, it gets you, much more in an expanded, higher frequency state. And sometimes you can't see what you can't see. Like your blind spot is what's in the way of your money spot. Also, this is exciting, you get the Find Your Money Spot program in full, all the audios, all the handouts, all the transcripts, and the intuitive sales program that I did with Melina Abbott in 2010. It's it's 7 years old, but it's a program that I'm super proud of, and it stands the test of time, that program, because it's got the structures and everything that you need. And then I do advanced selling in the high ticket, high frequency course. But if you want to brush up on your sales skills, that is also there for you. You don't have to go through the whole program. You can just pick and choose the bits that you need. It's very clearly defined what's in each call. Okay, so any questions on that? I love giving these juicy bonuses, and I hope that they are exciting for you, because they're exciting for me. But what else do you need to know? What else can I answer? Have you got any questions on that? Just having a look whether I've covered off everything I wanted to tell you about. Yeah, so the great thing is with the online program, I think one of the benefits of that is you can just listen to it whenever you want to. I mean, I often have something on when I'm tidying up the kitchen or just doing bits and pieces. You can have it on in the background, and then you can set time aside to do it. You probably need, I'd say, like an hour, 90 minutes a week to listen to the audio. It's an audio program, so you can have it on your iPod, you can take it out for a walk, you don't have to be sat at your desk, let it go in. And then to participate in the Facebook group as and when you have questions coming up. And the Q&A webinar, as I say, be as long as you need, probably 60 minutes and 90 minutes to get what you need on your offer piece. So this is not like a massive commitment in terms of your time, because it's an add-on to what you already do. But I would say that for the next 12 weeks, you want to be willing to go through a transformative process with this and have the intention, in that 12 weeks, I mean, for Marsha, it took 2 weeks to go from 1,500 a month to 8 grand a month, and then 10 grand a month the next month. So it can happen quicker than that, but give yourself a 12-week space so that you feel like, okay, in this 12 weeks, everything's going to change in how I've been looking at, how I value my time and my how I work with my clients in creating these new containers, these more powerful containers. It applies to retreats, it applies to VIP days, it applies to one-to-one coaching packages, group coaching programs, masterminds. I'm just trying to think what else. And, abroad and at home. I've done these all over the world. I've done VIP days on ski slopes in Utah, luxury like Deer Valley, Regis ski slopes. I've done poolside cabanas in Las Vegas. I've done 7-day retreats in Ecuador. I've done VIP days in Ecuador. And you can really include the things that you're passionate about. We've done ceremonies and all-night ceremonies and the shamanic cleansings, be everyone naked, having nettles whipped on them as part of my high-level program. So the sky is really the limit. You can get really creative and really do what works. So that's why I love it. You create the container and you fill it with your heart and soul. Any questions? Haha, brilliant, Kat, thank you. I want to do something in June. I'm wondering if that is enough time to promote. Like a retreat, Karen, in June? Yeah, you could get started right away. I would say, it's enough. There's always enough time. It's just more about what state we're in, but we can pull it off. You can pull it off. Good. Okay, any other questions, anyone? I'd love to just flick into that. Here's the link again if you want to go and see all about it, catherinedeaver.com/VIP/high-ticket/. On that question, Karen, this just made me think. So I did an Ecuador retreat year before, November 2015. Where was I? I was pregnant with Grace, and I had Ludo and Duke, and we went off to Ecuador, and I had sold 2 places on it, and I was like, oh my God, am I going to have to cancel this? Because the overheads are high for Ecuador, and I was thinking, is this going to work? And it was 5 grand a spot, week away. It's not an easy yes for people, right? They've got to come to South America, come for a week of their lives, arrange childcare, whatever they need to do, and invest 5K. And I was like, God, we've got a week. How is this going to happen? All my guidance was this is what you need to do. And I was like, oh my God. And it's that brass ovaries, right? It's that balls of steel, really breathing and just being and within about 4 days, we had, was it 3 or 4 more people sign up? Literally, it was crazy. They all signed up right at the last minute. It was so radical. Those 11-pound miracles, that's where you need a good mindset and good peer group, because sometimes that happens. So Sabrina, do you have to do a Facebook Live to promote VIP days? Is May too soon for a treat? Sabrina, it depends how big your list is and how much momentum you have. May feels a bit soon. Depending. I mean, I think you need at least a 6-week lead out time. pull off a good retreat. And the longer the better, because people do seem to get really booked up. I'm not like that. I do everything at the last minute, but some people seem to have, you want to have something that caters to the planners and to the last minuters. You don't have to do Facebook Live to promote VIP days. There's loads of ways to promote VIP days. A lot of them I cover in the program. I go through VIP days in great detail and how to attract clients for that. I have a minimum of 8 to 10 at our hotels here in the forest. I'm feeling a wobble about it. Yeah, I hear you. It's okay. Don't worry, Karen. You can do it. Everyone feels wobbles as part of it. Planning a live event in April. How would you market it? So you have a live event in April. I've been enjoying Eventbrite, using Eventbrite for smaller, like lower end live events. Definitely speaking. If you can get out in front of audiences, that would be great, Ariana, for you. Yeah, Facebook Live. Like, it really is. Here's the thing, like, when you say how would you market something, it's really, here's the secret with marketing. If you nail this, you'll never really sort of struggle with marketing again, I don't think. It's that you've got to find out your best format. Some people just love doing emails and copy and Facebook posts, long written Facebook posts, and working that way. Other people are more like video, better on video. You've got to find the modality that's like best for you, and then do that over and over and over. And it's about being consistent and keep showing up. And sometimes it's about going, well, I quite like writing and I like videos, let me do both. And people think you do one piece of marketing and get 50 clients. Like, they don't think that, like, intellectually, but there's this sense of like, oh, no one's showing up, like nobody's really responding. The truth is, you've got to do about 50 pieces of marketing to get one client. Like, you've got to have the right offer, be really clear about what you do and who it's for, and then share it abundantly, like excitedly, passionately, and abundantly. And that's what makes a difference, because there is a lot of kind of coaches and retreats and healers and everything like that in the space now. There didn't used to be quite as many. There's a lot, but there's still so much abundance to be had. Like, coaching is the second fastest growing industry next to tech. So there's more and more people warming up to the idea that maybe they need a coach, maybe they do want to change their lives, maybe something needs to be different. It's still the best game in town as far as I'm concerned, in terms of flexibility, the abundance available, and how simple it can be to get started and how simple it can be to make it work. But you do have to be in clear and focused. So get your chops around what you excel at, where are you really good, and do more of that. Make more offers to more people more of the time. Good. Okay, I think I've got any other questions? Okay, so guys, I really want to invite you and recommend that you've gone over catherinedeaver.com, slide down to the very bottom, and get enrolled on this online training. Because if you want to have these offers in your business, if you want to create something that's really in alignment with what you feel within you, like, I promise you, this is the most easy and fast and flexible way to do it. And I've seen people, really get stuck about, like, they're trying to make more money, so they do more, and sometimes it's about less. Sometimes it's about so much less, but just doing it in a different way. So please come on over if you're ready for a shift and you want to you'd like to work with me in this space. It's a very different space for me. It's a new space for me, but it's something that I've done a beta test on, and I'm seeing results the last couple of years with some people that have been through this in a beta way that are mind-blowing. So I'm really excited to share it with you, and I'm really excited for you to receive the benefit of these teachings. I hope you've enjoyed being with me today. Thank you so much for showing up, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and take care, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now, everyone. Bye, Karen. Thank you.